way when I make that song. All these possibilities, I feel it deep inside me. You're everything reminds me. This rapture has my body. Your beats in my brain and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hard when you get me off. Your beats in my brain and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hard when you get me off. Whisper in my ear, then I'll take you down to my crystal waterfall. Now you're standing tall. I feel it deep inside me. You're everything reminds me. This rapture has my body. Has my body. Your beats in my brain and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hard when you get me off. Your beats in my brain and it drives me insane when you touch me this way. No one can see when you're down on your knees, and it's hard when you get me off.
Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day
From the latest scoop around town,
to feel-good stories and messages of hope,
a few jokes and live calling,
highlighting local businesses,
discussing hot trends and news stories.
a dash of feel-good nostalgia,
I love those morning cartoons,
keeping up with upcoming events,
sometimes trying and delicious foods,
weekly horoscope updates,
an occasional flying duck.
some sparkle dust,
Don't forget my bell,
and my wand.
with our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow, comment live, or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
The Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome to the morning show, and that song is brought to you by
Kendra Erica.
who is so that song is going to be featured on CSI March 19th.
Oh, is it already this season or next season?
Oh, I thought it was this season.
I don't know. March 19th is coming up. It's your birthday.
Gotta find out, and I'll get you the information by the midday show.
Happy Friday, everyone. Can you believe it's Friday already? Another week, another day.
You know, I thought today was Tuesday.
Do you ever wake up and wonder, is it the weekend? Do I really have to get up? What's today? And when you wake up and you process it, you think about what's on your agenda for the day. What's next?
I wake up, and the first thing that I think about is, what am I going to do today?
Right, so you have to decide what day it is. Because if it's Saturday and you wake up, you have a whole different agenda than if it's Friday.
No, Saturday's agenda for the first till 12 o'clock is already in the books. I already know what I'm doing. The question is, what am I doing afterwards?
Walmart, the cat store.
That
Home
I have
Depot.
to do. I have to do a little bit of that this weekend. Get the house ready and a few things I gotta do there. Oh, but I'm pretty caught up.
Caught up?
Caught up.
Caught up?
Yeah, there's always something to do.
There's always something to. People who actually relax on the weekend, it's always an amazing feat to me because I usually don't.
So when I come back in another life, I want to grow up to be
I
Josh.
was going to say that you wanted to be a cat.
I want to be Josh
Why?
because what a life this guy has.
Why?
This guy has the ultimate life.
He's pretty chill.
He's chill. He hangs out. He eats what he eats when he wants to eat it and how. Doesn't have any problem with the ladies. I mean, the man is the man. Is the myth and the man.
I want to know what you guys did when we were out at that networking meeting yesterday. We were getting a little depressed by the whole conversation. It was a great conversation, but it just hits home. When things hit home and you know it's truth, it's hard to accept. And we come back in there eating lunch at the Modern Rose. What did you guys do?
Yeah, they went out. They went out to get lunch at the Modern Rose. I guess it was like a cafe kind of thing. All got food. We shot the TikTok, and it was just kind of like just hanging out.
I haven't
For
seen.
those-
Perfect for you. I haven't seen the TikTok. Have you seen the new one?
No, but
Did
I'll
they
have to
post
go
it?
on there.
Yeah, it's just like a satisfying sounds of the studio kind of thing.
Ah, satisfying sound.
Do you have the TikTok piece?
It must be Bailey. I hear wheels.
Yeah,
It's probably on our. It's probably on our piece. It's got to be Bailey.
He has. Yeah, okay. Tell about the keys.
The keys and the wheels. Do you wheel your backpack in?
I don't get that for.
I hear wheels.
Where?
I guess it's not you. Anyway, happy Friday to you.
She reminds me of Howard Stearns.
But we did. We went to a great event yesterday. We went to City Lead Boca with Pastor Bill. 350 people they had yesterday. And thank you again to the Siegel Law Group for sponsoring us at their table. They're always so gracious and kind. Really, really a nice law group. And Marie is going to be coming in and talking about different options for people that may not think they can afford services that you need for estate planning and Medicare. She's going to come in and talk to the women out there.
It's very important. She's going to do it in English and in Spanish, which is kind of freaking cool. But thank you to Mr. Siegel, and I'm hoping that he feels better. It seems like he has a hip flexor on that left hip, but it was fun.
But it was a nice event. Talked about building a strong foundation in your business and who in your business has the vision of the business. If you look at 100% of your employees, what is the percentage of those that have 100% of your vision of creativity to sustain it, to grow it, versus those that don't? And to those that don't, bring down those that do.
Well, you have to bring in adjustments in any business. And adjustments require money. And money is part of the survival kit of what's going on. She's driving me nuts. About what's going on. And you have to sort of pick right. Now, it's a little bit more complicated for us because we have a lot of producers that are going to universities and colleges and all that. So with that in mind, there's a learning curve here, which is automatic. So you
But-
can't really use that.
But it's interesting. We came back yesterday and we posed the question and the conversation to Josh and Mayor, and they each gave us their input. And then the girls came back in and they gave us their input. And by the afternoon, everyone was on point. They were working, they were opening lights, they were moving artwork, they were getting ready for night shows. So maybe just opening that conversation of thought-provoking ideas makes people realize, you know what, this is my vision. I'm either in alignment or I'm not. But no one that was here yesterday said they're not in alignment.
Well, maybe
I
change your persona.
What do you think?
don't know if this correlates to everything we're talking about, but I mean, don't people work best when their back is against the wall?
No, because then you're doing ultimatum challenges, and that's not really,
Well, not all the time.
no. Some people can't handle the pressure. But I got to tell you, maybe our perspective changed. Maybe we have to view more about what they do as opposed to what they don't.
You know, and ever since, there's always a message. And you and I are big on spirituality and big on reading messages. And we both heard this, and you and I both looked at each other. And the funny thing is, we came up, of course we did, with opposite numbers. You came up with one side of the equation. I came up with a different side of the equation. We came back here. Josh thought more like me. Mayor thought more like you. So that's interesting. Same people, same situation, different perspective. But as we were walking around the room, assessing where we feel we sit, we ran into an incredible group of people at a table for support children,
Yes.
right? And there's a great movie coming out today called Champions. And I have to go see this tomorrow. Woody Harrelson is the basketball coach. First movie in 30 years since White Men Can't Jump that he went back into the basketball space. And it's about coaching adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities. And their team is called Friends. And it's the Friends group. They auditioned 1,000 adults with intellectual disabilities to come up with this crew. Amazing. One of the women, she has Down syndrome. She goes, having Down syndrome is the least about who I am. That's not even part of me, which is amazing to have that, the whole mindset. So I want to go see that this weekend. I know it's going to be a feel-good, fluffy movie that I like, but you know what? Again, it's a second message to what you and I were thinking yesterday. It's what makes our studio unique and special in what it is.
Well, I got to give a compliment to the gang because Delroy, who has been with us for years, and you and your doctor from All County Medical has been with me almost 6 years. And he came in last night and he felt it. He says something's different. He tells me. He says the gang is different today. Something's going on. And a lot of energy was put into the house also by Garcia. Now, we only see Garcia on Thursday and Friday, and I wish that would change, but he's working with his dad, and his dad is doing real well. I told him to give me his dad's card so we could do a shout-out for him, but it is different. And I think that what I got out of yesterday's meeting isn't so much about their perspective as much as it's my perspective. I think that maybe I have to take a look at a little bit closer at some of the things that the kids bring to the table. And I'll go to war against anybody. I've said that time and time again. But yesterday, it was a little different. It felt a little different. I think it had something to do with the Leeds deal. Maybe there was a wake-up call. Maybe there was a phrase, shake up and wake, you know.
Well, I want to ask Josh, because Josh says, is it because they were pushed against the wall? Did you feel that we pushed you against the wall yesterday? Not you, but the crew.
No, I guess just with that question though, it makes them think, like really think of like what their business is doing here or being here.
What did you think about it? Did it change what you thought?
Not me.
You're pretty solid. We
Yeah.
know where you are.
Yeah, but at the
I didn't
beginning,
change
Josh
it.
was different. He had a different calling at the beginning. He wanted something a little bit different. And the calling is now going to be put upon him. Because that's the only one I remember.
About Josh?
Yeah.
What do you mean the calling?
I think it's Josh's turn to be a leader, to make, to grow, there's going to be more pressure on him to make it happen because I see him among his peers for whatever reason.
Guys, don't put too much pressure on him.
We're not. We're going to put it on you.
Why?
Thank you.
Life is going to put the pressure on him. Wouldn't he rather get it from me than somebody he doesn't know?
Well, I guess that's true enough.
Well, when we posed the same question to you when the girls came back from lunch, did you think anything about it, or you just kept
This
You know
one?
what?
She doesn't even know what you're talking about.
about the question of your vision of being here?
What?
She doesn't even remember having the
The
conversation.
major
so-
question is, do you want to be successful?
Of course I do.
And when do you want to start believing in that? Do you want to wait until you're more experienced, or do you start now? It's the answer that
I
we
want to start
typically-
now.
See, but that's you're giving it to me as a question. I'm gonna start now. It's not an. The confidence that you have to raise the bar to believe in. It does start now.
Let's start now.
It does start now.
Okay, good morning, Frank, and good morning to Steve. Frank, we got someone we want you to meet. Do you know when that gentleman's coming in, Alex? Did he confirm?
2 weeks.
All right, so Frank, we're going to give you the date. Someone we've known for a long time who's wanted to come back in, and he's working with Human Trafficking Foundation. So we wanted to put you in touch with him.
Also want to say hi to Frank because Frank's book is out, the new book that was done by Kenny Megachild. Now, for those of
The
you who
cover,
don't
I think,
know,
was done
the
by
cover,
Megachild.
For
Is
those,
that really his last name?
Magchop. That's what they call him,
Okay.
Kenny Magchop. Now Kenny's been in a lot of movies. He knows a lot of football players, baseball players. He knows everybody. Kenny Magchop knows everybody. He's on tonight on the Sixth Borough. He's one of the co-hosts on there as well. He gets around. He gets around. He's an artist. He brings in his pieces. They put it on the stage. But the book, I wanted Frank to come in so we can talk about what the book is about.
Retribution.
And I think it's part of the series.
It's
right?
the fourth book of the series of his Jack Stenhouse series.
And I'm excited to talk to the person in charge of editing that masterpiece because I know that she worked on it a little while. And what's happening is that we now have come to the conclusion that we want to do a book fair with authors.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we have a location that we're going to
We do?
call today in Boca. We were there not too long ago. And we're looking for about 30 different authors, 30, 35, and Lynn wants to work on this because Lynn wants to get out of the box and get bigger.
We spoke to Lynn yesterday. It's interesting to see Lynn not shift gears, but shift gears a little bit, but more hone in on what he really wants to do. Because I think at some point in life, and you guys aren't there, that you guys are still at the stage where you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, and we are too.
We're still gathering spaghetti.
We're still gathering the spaghetti and cooking it. And you throw it out the wall to see what sticks. What
Right.
comes back, what you want to really work on, what you don't want to work on. Lynn's at the point in his career where he's tried it all, and he realizes what he really wants to do going forward and focus on. I know where I'm going to focus on my next. We were talking about it this morning. I know where my next area of focus is, and it's about growing what we need to grow for them and where we need to go, because these are our assets, and we need to work with our strengths and our assets as opposed to fight our assets. So that's where I'm going to go with that. Right now, business is not easy for a lot of people. And Pastor Bill talked about that yesterday. To sustain your business is one thing. To grow your business is another. And do you have the energy and the capacity to actually grow your business where you want it to go?
That's right. He stressed the fact that change comes to succeed, and there's always an expense to change. It depends on how much you're willing to pay for it, and I'm not talking just money. I'm talking about experience, time, training.
A lot comes with experience. Frank says, I'm going to offer a gift to the first person to purchase my new book from the studio. All right, free gift with purchase for the first purchase of Rapture. Let us know. 888.
Rapture
No,
is the song.
I'm sorry. Retribution. It could go with that too. 888-994-4995. Frank will bring that in.
Studio B.
Studio
If
B.
you call right now, you'll get the book and a gift from Mr. Frank.
But I think experiences change people and what you look at. I mean, we've got some stuff going on in my house, and you know what it is. If the same experience had happened 20 years ago versus now, you look at things a little bit differently
It's
where you are in
perception.
life. It's
Absolutely.
perception and what your risk tolerance is at that point in life.
One of the things I want to push on and stress on is that we have a lot of assets in the building. We have artists. We have everything you can possibly need to run a business. I don't think we take advantage of it enough. I don't think we promote it out enough. I know the kids do a ton of plaques and promotions and TikTok, but I think that we need to raise it up to another level where we're organized in sending. I love the ideas that are coming forward, but I'd like to see more ideas from her in her special.
She's working on the St. Patty's Day opportunity.
And we got a winner.
There's the phone. Ding, ding, ding. We got a winner.
It's actually Frank.
All right, it's Frank. Give us
Testing
a call.
the phone.
888-994-4995. Let's see what Frank has to say. Good morning.
How are you? We are going to embark on that platform today.
Did your email I sent you?
Yes. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Well,
It's $1.80 a credit. I got that. That's about it.
that's it.
That's all. Did you read it?
Yeah, she said that if we could set up a call with her when I originally called her. She
Then we'll do that today.
We'll do that.
commercial.
No. Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Hold on.
Oh,
Frank,
okay.
here's bring him over. But it's all about. We have to ask Teddy the question. She wasn't here yesterday.
No, because she's
No.
going to give a bad answer.
No, she's not. Teddy, we've had this conversation with Teddy over the years.
Freddie's going to side with Freddie and Mayor. I know it.
Who? Teddy?
She's going to be on your side. Hey, Frank.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I've got my new Operation Retribution is on order with the printer, so I will have books in about 10 days.
Woohoo!
All right, well, we're going to put it out there, and you'll get your copy as soon as it's available through Frank. And the first one that calls
Yeah,
in, the
and
phones
I'll-
aren't
and I'll-
working.
Right, and I'll bring them in. I'll bring your copies in as soon as I get them.
Awesome. Why did you name the book Retribution?
Well, it's one of the. It's called Operation Retribution. It's the antagonist chose that mission to seek revenge on his foes.
And why did you use Kenny? I heard that you used something about his story. Why did you use Kenny?
Well, Kenny is into fashion. I was at one of his first fashion shows in Miami, so I started the book off with a fashion show in New York, and Kenny is one of the first people that get shot in the book, and it has to do with him and his wife and his models, and he's involved in the storyline. I changed the names and the company name to protect the guilty, so. And Kenny was so enthralled with it that I asked him to do the cover, and that's where the cover came from.
Very nice.
We were
That's
talking about retribution yesterday. Do people believe in retribution? Of course, some of our crew, like Freddie, said, what does retribution mean? But other than that, Frank, we were all on the same page. I'm kidding. But everyone has different feelings of what it is. If you think about, do you have Operation Retribution if someone injures or hurts your family versus a business dealing? A business dealing, maybe you let it go and you move on. But everyone was on the same page that if it was a family member, they pretty much all said they're going to go out for it.
True that.
And we don't even know what the premise of the book is, so it'll be interesting to find out if it involves any of that.
Yeah, well, soon, when I bring it in, then we'll discuss it.
Excellent.
I
How
like
did
it.
your meeting go with the Movies of Del Rey yesterday?
It went well, but her facility just won't get what we need.
Okay.
We need a space in front of the screen to do our show, and the seats go all the way up to the front of the studios. But they're about 2 feet from the screen, so there's no room up in front.
To do what you want to do.
Okay, I have another.
We told her that it would be a good venue because we're planning to do like a mini film festival, and that would be a good venue for that, but not for the award show.
Another venue for you, so when I see you, I'll give you that number.
Okay.
Have a great day. Thanks, Frank. Say hi to Chris. We'll see you hopefully
Ciao.
next week. Bye-bye.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Absolutely.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, Teddy, we're talking about having, when you think about business, of your 100% of people that work with your business, what percentage has the creativity, the desire, and the vision of the business versus those that don't want? Not that they don't want the business to succeed, they just don't really care. They go in, they work, they go home, they figure they're going to get out of it whatever they get out of it.
Turn the camera. Don't turn
I like your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
So I
Apparently
came
does
up
too,
with a
'cause you have to put the
percentage
camera on me.
based on our studio as to what I thought the the percentage of those who are visionaries with us versus
There's a line.
maybe not so in it.
There's a line of those that believe and those that just do, and there's a line. And what the discussion was, you want to be top heavy, not bottom heavy. But most businesses are bottom heavy because you rely on a certain number of people on top heavy
And how much time do you invest
to get them on the top.
to get them on the top? And is that time invested in those that really don't really want to be there? But it's not that they don't want to be there, just they go in, they get their paycheck, and they leave. They kind of just hang. Are you using more resources and more money of energy, your time, your other staff's time to bring them up versus saying you're a really great person, I like you a lot. They're not bad people, but right now it's costing too many resources for the business to continue it this way.
So what's the question?
That was a lot. Yeah, what was the question?
Question is of our studio, you don't even have to say it. Think of, are we top heavy with visionaries or are we bottom heavy with those that really just, they hang?
I think that there's two ways to split it up. I think most of our studio are visionaries in the top half saying that they do believe in it, they have great ideas. But I think when you go to the execution, we're on the bottom. We have a lot of people here with great ideas who are visionaries, who are very creative, who have amazing ideas. But the level of people who have the work ethic to actually execute it in a timely manner with quality work, whether they have the ability to do or not, I think we're in the bottom level to where it isn't happening.
But there's
But I
two
think
things
everyone
you're
has the
point-
ability to.
But you're pointing two different things out. You're pointing out ability versus, the acknowledgement of doing it. That's
But
more
I
of
think
like
that's
an
an
urgency.
important one. A lot of people who get jobs at companies have the ability to be amazing.
Everybody has ability.
visionaries.
Everybody. But the question I think that they're posing, that's why I came up with 1090. Is my
Which was so
number,
sad.
is that it's desirability. Do you want to be successful? And he pointed out how most people want to be successful when they become successful. They want to keep it. I get that. But he's saying if you want to be successful, you have to want to be successful when you're not. You have to start today in order to get to tomorrow. So I think that the question more is about that line. Do we have more wannabes that want to be, or do we have more, it's okay, I'm just going to go with the flow?
I wouldn't agree with 1090.
Thank you.
But I would say it's in the pretty bottom heavy area. But I don't think that's just us. I think that's a lot of people in general. A lot of companies are going through it because
Yep.
during the past few years, everyone had crises of what are you going to do? What are you doing with your life? Are you happy? And people kind of lost their ways.
We talked about that too. You
I
can't get
think
people
we're
to
like
work.
70-30.
No.
I do.
What's the difference between 70-30 or 30-70?
70-30
On top,
visionaries
70?
of those work. And if you
And
think
30 in the
about,
bottom?
say we've got 10, and of our top 10, how many of those top 10 really do and work? And I can think of at least 7 of those 10 that work really hard. I mean, this way people are on spring break, so that doesn't count. But if you actually sit and go through the list,
No, everybody being present. Let's go with that. Doesn't have to be
I
about
say 70-30 of those that really work, that want to be here, that grow the business.
I'd say like 40-60.
I say 10.
That's what Mayor
90.
said. I think Josh
But
is
let me
kind of
tell
more
you.
with me.
But let me tell you why. What's the difference between 1090 and 1189 and 1288? What's the difference
Not
between
much.
40 and 60?
Like a person's foot.
Well, but the difference is when I was coaching football, there's a league like the USFL in Florida, and that's like the minor leagues. And we sent 2 kids to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's that kind of football branching out that they do. And I got to become a defensive coordinator. And the coach said to me, okay, I want you on the sidelines. I said, no. I went up on top, and I had binoculars. And this was me in the game. So I bought a stand to hold them because I got tired of holding, right? And everybody asked me, what the hell are you looking at? Are you looking for aliens? What are you looking for? And what I was looking for was body English. Before, during, and after a game. And I didn't leave. I was way up there. The elevators had to take us up and down to go. But I was looking at the body English of a player. Like I look at a body English in this house. And I can see the difference. And the reason I'm saying 1090 isn't the reason that you guys are all thinking. It has to do with body English. Everybody here has ability. They're probably some of the best in Florida. Probably some of the best kept secrets in Florida. And I'm talking about everybody included in this room. But they're never going to know that because they don't look through the binoculars. They just look at the present.
But who? The outsiders or the
The
group?
outside world.
The outside world doesn't really matter what the outside world.
It does.
Why?
Because that's how they perceive the world.
But they just see the end product. They don't see the
Not
process.
them. They see the world through the outside.
Who?
In here, what's different about coming here is I'm asking you to teach me your creativity. I can show you cameras and all that stuff. I remember the first time Teddy says to me, how are you so patient? Remember we talked about this.
It's like every week.
Because patience, it's not about patience, it's about waiting for the game to come to you. And she's learned that. She's actually pretty good at it now. But there's some times that we go through cylinders and everything else. But the difference here, You see, instead of asking me why 1090, you're making the assumption that what he was talked about is what I'm talking about. And that's not what I'm talking about.
That would
Usually
be
when
the
you answer
assumption
a
based on the
question.
question.
No, because I think
the
that-
answer is usually based
I
on
think
the
that
original
because of our
question.
institution, that's an unfair question.
Okay.
50-50 is probably the best you're going to get
Okay.
in here.
Okay.
Because they're learning,
Yes.
right? We had one kid made a mistake on the board and everybody got on, oh, yeah! He never came back.
I know.
Well, you got to learn from that. Who has
that.
learned from that? It doesn't matter who it is. Well, who's learned from that? There goes the 10%. See, this business, like every other business, and if you have a business, whether you're an author or a babysitter or you work for NASA, you have to conduct yourself a certain way of intelligence, common sense. You know, you have to be able, because the peers around you are all watching. And if you make a mistake, just like the kid from the Philadelphia Eagle quarterback says, when you don't win, you learn. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you have any idea of what those words mean to a human being? This guy just lost the Super Bowl. Think about that. You ever made a mistake and say, man, I screwed up? Ever done
Sure.
that? But he didn't do that. He
Sure.
said, I'm learning.
But I took what Pastor Bill said yesterday about, he was talking about MCI and how it was one of the biggest Ponzi schemes 20 years ago. And the gentleman
went to jail.
that started it, who's one of the big guys there, not the only one involved, but one
Went
of the
to
main
jail
ones.
for 5 years.
Went to jail for 5 years. He came out of jail and he became friends with him, Pastor Bill and this gentleman. And he said he had a conversation with him and said, what would you change, or would you have changed anything? And he said, it was a 90-second decision. Someone offered me an opportunity and took me 90 seconds
Was
to
it
answer
90 or
it.
30?
90 seconds. He said, if I had waited 91 seconds and made the different decision, none of this would have ever happened. So the idea being patience, think it through, do what's ethically and morally right, and if it takes an extra second, is it worth it in the long run?
Isn't that amazing? I can go 90-10 in 1 second.
Right? So it flips. So it's an unbelievable opportunity to network, because not only is it the networking, it's how he delivers the information. And it makes you think all through the day and night.
You did not
You were
stop
very
thinking.
upset. I know. I came
I
back.
was upset.
I
It's
came back
funny.
kind of up a tree yesterday.
I shared that at the table, how upset I was. But then
Yeah.
I went home and I thought about it. I saw what happened here last night. And I see the ingredients that we have. You know, having Garcia and Josh on board last night, there was a different feeling in the house. and-
Non-RN. No.
But
My
there was-
lower thirds.
No,
She's
there was
not an RN.
It was a different feel because you're confident of the fact that you got your A squad in there, and it wasn't me saying this. It was an outsider saying this to me, and he brought me over. He says, "What is different about it?" Everybody said, "What's going on?"
Because we weren't running between shows. We had a lot of pre-recordeds.
Well,
So-
Garcia set up things like I had never seen before. And then somebody asked him, I think it was Nickelodeon, asked him about his habits for camera work. And the first words out of his mouth, "You think I'm better at cameras than I do because I'm not that good. I just use a lot of angles." And I thought that was brilliant. So now, on that conversation, I can say 90-10. Because I'm not looking for the end product. I'm looking, even though the business is, right? But I'm looking about how to get there. And you're never going to get there if you don't have that body English, that desire here.
I watched Garcia move a camera yesterday, and compared to other people, like compared to me, I pick it up. I'm careful because what happened at one event, we were outside. Garcia picks up the camera, vroom, puts it down, moves it. He does like he is confident in his camera moving ability, and you can see the difference in what it is. Like Josh, when I asked him to download something, literally, Josh, you downloaded 30 things in 2 minutes.
I can't believe that. I have to see it. Because I don't know how you did that so fast.
Just copy and paste.
I know,
Superpowers.
but do you, like,
He has superpowers.
Where
and
do
he
you
doesn't-
put them?
He hides them.
how do
for
you
sure.
move that? Nothing moves that fast.
You don't move the mouse that fast.
I said, you did them. It takes me an hour.
I
It took
know.
him 5 minutes.
Not even.
So there's got to be something I'm not doing right. But then going back to Garcia, Garcia takes the wires out of the camera and inspects them, puts them back in. And he lets me know what wires have to be purchased.
Oh, we got to order a new wire for Studio A, a speaker with a quarter.
Okay.
I mean, that's the binoculars. That's what I'm talking about. And when he moves a light, he looked inside and says, you know, this light has a lot of broken
What was that?
Oh, it was a spasm.
broken light bulbs. That's what I'm talking about. She sends me how this platform they're going to be using works. That's
Apparently
very
didn't say
nice.
anything.
Apparently, no, I didn't read it. Because I'm going to rely
He's
on
going to
you.
send it to me.
Or her. But
They've
I'm going to
sent
rely.
me 20 emails
I'm relying.
between Wednesday and
I'm
today.
going to tell you right now, guys. I'm relying on you. And I'm relying on him. I told him this yesterday to put the cruise together. And if we're sending out people, because part of the bid will include that as well, somebody's got to look up airlines. Somebody's got to look up accommodations. Nobody's even brought that up yet.
Think we'll cross that
This
bridge
is
when we get
part
to
of
it.
the pricing. Yeah, I understand that. But these are some of the things that we have to put together. So I'm going to rely on the ACEs. As I said to Garcia, I said to him, give me your father's phone number. And he said, why? I said, because I need to talk to him. Because if this thing were to work, you got to go. Ooh, well, I'm not opposed to it, he tells me.
Things to do, things to ponder and think about. But we're in a very unique situation with a very unique crew. Not employees, but crew.
Now, are you going to stretch this out to people's businesses? People are coming to us because they see what we're doing. And, you know, the bottom line here, I cannot run your business. I cannot close deals for your business. I can show you how we do our business. But you have to go the extra mile for your business, and you got to be creative. And I'm not in the let me rent you what you guys call an intern, we call them producers. I'm not in the rent a person business. I'm not. I don't do that. We have an agenda here with the schools, and we don't rent out the kids. We can't.
It's funny, everyone's gotten a little more specific. We got a career fair, we've got some other opportunities, and they're specific on how many we can bring, like really specific. It went like shoo, numbers and everything.
Yeah. I want to ask about that. How many?
Well, we're gonna
We'll talk about
we're
that
gonna
off
talk
air.
about the but what I want to do.
Oh no, I meant to ask like how when's the career fair again?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What I want to do is maybe do a remix social and send it into a show during the career fair,
Okay.
even if we tape it. There's a reason for it, because I'm beginning to find out that people really don't understand what we do, because we don't do one thing. If I had 11 fingers on my hands or more, that's what we do. And the problem is that everybody can count to 10 on their hands, and we do all of that and then some. Some we do better than other things. But the object of the aim is that you have to do all of them to survive today. You know, you can't sell just a meatball at a restaurant and think that you're going to be a super restaurant because I sell the best meatballs in the world. Doesn't work that way,
Yesterday was National Meatball Day, by the way.
was it?
Yes, we missed it. You don't eat meatballs
Can't eat
anymore.
it anyway.
I know.
But the bottom line here is, if you have a business, go to Leeds. There was a lot of new people there yesterday. Go to Leeds. Now we have a table. I'm thinking about how we're going to set this whole table thing up.
I think it's in May, right?
It's in May.
But they always have opportunities for anyone to go, walk in. There's always open seating. A lot of interesting things.
It's an important aspect of the learning curve. And, you know, it's funny because if you want your business to succeed, your warriors have to understand you and where you're going and how they fit in. Appreciation of it is high. We try to do as much as that as we can. Not always successful because it's a big age group. And I say something, I get blasted, and he says the same thing, and they cheer. So, trying to figure that one out.
Happy dance.
Tried that too.
Have you seen that podcast piece? Wait till you see it. Josh, you have it on the board?
No.
No.
I
don't
didn't
do
consider
that.
from yesterday.
Yes.
No, we
Yes.
don't want to do that. Don't be such a rebel.
It's how you can find the Brooklyn Cafe Show on Spotify, and even with an age gap differential like Josh and his grandfather over here, you can all tune into the Brooklyn Cafe
And
Show.
who said
get
that I
something
agreed
out
to
of it.
grandfather? Isn't I'm supposed to approve this stuff?
No,
I don't like the grandfather thing.
I was trying to do the math in my head. You're not old enough to be his grandfather.
Of course not. I'm not old enough to be
You kind
anybody's
of are,
grandfather.
though. Actually, if
There's
you
a-
think about it.
have grandkids.
Allegedly. Breaking news. One of my favorite stars died yesterday, 79-year-old
Beretta.
Loretta. And I gotta tell you, I bought a cockatiel because of him.
Did you? Some of the old school shows, Serpico, Beretta, Kojak, 70s shows.
He was in the Little Rascals.
He was.
They showed that.
What
That's
was
how
he,
he got it.
Spanky or something?
I don't know who he was on it, but he was in the Little Rascals, and that's how he started his career.
The Oscars are this weekend.
Are they?
And
Already?
they're not having a red carpet. Apparently, they're having a champagne-colored carpet. Interesting, right? I think it's like the first time they've ever not have a red carpet, which leads me to believe the spin on it. A, were they out of red carpets and now they're just having a champagne?
No,
B, what
they-
statement are they making? 3 is what the media said is they're confident there will be no blood spilled on it. Like
It means there's
last
no
year.
slapping
Correct.
because this
Oh.
time there's security, like they should have had last year.
So I don't know why they went with champagne, not blue, not black, not yellow. Apparently it's champagne colored. It's not the red carpet.
Is it being held in California?
Yes.
So
Just go with like a purple
what
or
are they gonna do
something?
with all the snow? They're getting 6 feet of snow today.
I don't know if they're getting snow there. I think the snow is in Central California.
It's
or
gonna be
something.
raining. And you know something? I'm very upset. Very upset
What an uplifting
about
Friday
the red
show.
carpet because I put out a red carpet here
I know. Now you're going to put a
for
champagne
10
carpet.
days. For 10 days. And nobody says nothing.
Everyone loves it.
Then
like
nobody
it.
tells me. I yank it.
Everybody walks in and says, "We found you because of the red carpet. You make us feel important."
Well, they found it because we don't have a sign, and now the
That's true.
tree's covering that.
That too.
So we're in the business behind the tree with the red rug in front of it.
They find us when they need to, though. We had a lot of people coming in. I
I'm
think
very
today.
upset. Nobody's
We're
done a
gonna find out.
commercial on it. You haven't done anything spectacular on it. Nothing.
We'll have Josh put something
what?
together for the red carpet.
No, I need Josh to do Podcast Central,
Oh,
Podcast City.
yes, he's making you a logo. More to come.
Very upset.
Why?
Because it's the little things.
It's the
The
little
small
things.
little things.
I know, but it's all good. Anyone got big plans this weekend other than the Oscars on Sunday? It's supposed to be
Let me
nice,
see your
but-
fingers.
Like,
No, not yet. I'm going to ask
We're
you that
going to
every day.
Nashville on Wednesday.
Could there be a surprise in Nashville?
No.
What do
Oh,
you
there
know?
is, but not for me.
How do you know? You don't know that.
we're we're going to visit. We're gonna go surprise some of our family there.
That would be the
we're gonna
perfect time.
No,
She's like, no,
my
no,
family, not his family.
not happening.
Even better. I'm serious. Can you imagine?
What are you doing this weekend, Josh?
I'm actually doing a photo shoot
Ooh.
with Trisna. So
For Trisna or
it's actually for my buddy. He's starting up he's trying to do a photo business kind of thing. So I introduced him to Trisna, help her out, help him out, and then
excellent?
I'll be
You're
there
going to
too.
be taking the pictures?
I'm not. No, my buddy is.
Oh.
But I mean, I'll bring my camera too.
She's modeling?
Yeah.
Nice.
Trippy is, she's
See,
actually
those
a
are one of
former-
the things that you don't realize that happens in the studio.
Why?
Why?
She came in here looking for modeling gigs.
Yeah, but it didn't have to be with Josh, and Josh didn't have to set it up with his buddy, but they all come together as a family and they figure it out.
No,
in
they
teamwork.
became friends. Also, Meg Chop is going to also include her in his runway stuff. It's funny because I said to him last Friday, I want you to meet somebody. He says, the young lady. I says, yeah. And he goes, she's a model, right? And look at him. Yeah, how'd you know that? He says, look at her. I said, okay, so you know what I'm going to ask you next, right? And he says, yeah, I got you.
What are you doing? I'm afraid to ask. You're going to Baxton's.
surprisingly, no.
Where you going?
Surprisingly,
I'm gonna
no.
be having, I'm gonna be having a business meeting this weekend.
Again?
Yeah, with
Same place?
same place, same guy. And I'm gonna be helping out with a friend for his he's designing a T-shirt and he asked me to help him out with it, so I'm gonna be doing that. And I'm gonna be having dinner with my grandparents.
Oh,
Very
that's nice.
Do you owe me a quarter?
No, why?
Because did you ask about the party?
What party?
The one that you were supposed to ask Mom if you could have a party?
Oh, I forgot to ask. I forgot to tell her
I
about
asked
that.
her.
You asked her?
She says, not right now wouldn't be a good time. So you owe me a quarter. Because I knew you weren't going to ask. You see, I have these binoculars, and I look through them,
Yeah, I better snatch him off of you.
That's it.
Okay,
Thank
what are
you,
your
sir.
plans?
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
No weekend plans? What are you doing? What are you doing? We talked about
I think
that.
I'm gonna go to California ski.
Nice. Chanel would love to have you.
Has anybody heard from Chanel?
No, I gotta reach out. to her.
Chanel, I gotta reach out. I want to put our good friend, New York Sound. You know what I'm talking about? I want to put him on that deal. That's why I asked him to come in
okay.
here.
How's he doing?
I don't know. He was in the hospital. Some dog took the tube out of his kidney. So he had a dog. He visited family, and then they bit the tube out. They had to rush him to emergency. I don't know how he's doing. I asked this morning.
All right. We'll
I
see
want to
what's
use
up.
the program. I got to tell you, the program that I took it just pushed more what I've been doing, and my sugar is down. I am shocked.
She gave me the information if you want any of the products, so I can get those for you also.
We're
Oh,
talking
it
about
reminds me. Isn't this like Italian ice person coming in today?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, I'm
Say
excited.
happy birthday to JC
Oh, is that why you're
Dreesen.
here?
Of
JC
course.
Oh, it's here
Dreesen?
Friday.
Yeah, say happy birthday, JC. It's her birthday today. Have a wonderful
She's on there.
cruise.
She's on there.
Yep.
She's seeing. She's
JC,
watching?
I will take care of that. My apologies. She's going on her cruise, I think, tomorrow.
Oh, I thought she left.
Today's
JC,
her
if
birthday.
you, JC, it's your birthday. I had a guy jumping on a cake for you, but I thought you weren't
Josh.
here. Josh
Josh,
should
you know,
do
that
it.
could be a good side hustle
So
for you.
come
So
on
far, you could
down
have
so
one
we
each
can
week.
celebrate. Say happy birthday, and then you can leave.
Josh jumping out of a cake.
Free
Josh.
food.
Free food?
Yeah, I'm fine with. I'll do it for free food.
Sure.
Okay, I'll
Laura
feed
used
you.
to do body shots. Josh can do like cake shots.
Josh, can you share that free food with me, please?
He brought him breakfast. I don't know if you can have
you
any
want
of
to
that
eat
though.
his free food?
No, I want to give Bailey a one.
You got any Bailey one? I don't know. We may never see
Bailey
Bailey
what?
again.
Thank you,
One of the
Josh.
treats he brought in for today.
Oof. I don't know about that. But if JC, if you come for 10 minutes, we'll sing you happy birthday. But you gotta let me know because I thought she had left already.
I don't think so. She's texting me. So happy birthday.
See if she's texting.
She
See
did.
if she's texting you now.
My phone would go off. JC, happy birthday. She's not answering me. All right, ready to wrap this up?
No, I want to know where JC is. How come I don't see JC?
Because she texted me. She didn't put it on the feed.
Yes, she's
All right,
in
we're going to
Mar-
wrap this up. Tune in for our midday show. We've had a lot of great surprises for you, as well as some wow ices. I know you can't have it, but well, you know, you can live through us.
What's that noise?
Have a great morning. We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't